Hola amigos, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emma and this is my book tag. This is an original tag created by the Yum group. This is a group of authortubers. We meet up once a month to kind of share ideas, to collaborate on things and stuff like that. And we thought it would be really fun to come up with a tag about our books. And this is it. So question number one is, what is the title of your book? So the book I'm going to be talking about today is my latest release. It's called The Baby Plan. Isn't it pretty? It's actually a re-release. This book was originally published as Her Sister's Baby by my previous publisher, but now it has a new title, it has a new cover, it has an epilogue, all manner of cool things, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. Buy it. The link is down in the description below. What genre is it? Is the next question. It is a contemporary romantic comedy set in the UK, in Brighton, in fact. I could actually read you the blurb, couldn't I? I could, so you know a bit more. Okay, the blurb. Sometimes life doesn't go exactly to plan. Sophie's perfectly settled life as an accountant in London is turned upside down when the phone rings in the middle of the night. An earth-shattering revelation leaves Sophie a sole carer for her 8-month-old niece Alana, who she never knew existed. With just one look at this tiny, beautiful baby, she falls in love. Then there's a knock at the door and Sophie's life turns upside down all over again. Standing outside is possibly the best-looking man she's ever seen. Tall, tanned and blonde, he's like the star of an Australian TV show. His name is Samson, and apparently he's Alana's father. Sophie and Samson don't know the first thing about taking care of a baby, but they're determined to ignore the growing attraction between them and make it work. So they make a plan. Sophie and Alana will move into Samson's spare room so they can look after this beautiful baby together. But can they put their feelings aside and stick to the plan? Here we go. Now you know loads about it. It's awesome. Question 3 is, what inspired you to write it? So I think originally the idea just came to me of this character Sophie with her very, very organized life. She loves her accountancy job. She loves her flat that she has in South London. Her life is great. It's sorted. It's exactly as she wants it. And then it is completely thrown into disarray. First by her sister dying, then by her discovering that she has a niece that she knew nothing about and she's now in charge of, and then by the feelings that she immediately has for this guy who turns up on her doorstep saying that he is her niece's father. And I just thought it would be really, really fun to explore what my character would do in those situations, and just how she would react to everything and what her life would look like when she took all of these things into account and made a new life with all of these elements in it. Right, next question. Question number 4. Is your book self or trad published? It is traditionally published. My publishers are Joffrey Books and they are completely amazing. Question number 5. What do you love about your book? Probably Sophie. She has a lot to deal with. I really, really loved her character. She's been through a lot and she has a lot of emotions, not just about her sister passing away, but also about their relationship prior to that and whether there was anything that she could have done to improve it. And I really loved helping her work her way through that and giving her her happy ever after. What other books does yours resemble? Okay, so it's a gentle contemporary romantic comedy. So writers like Jenny Colgan, Sue Moorcroft, Georgia Hill, it's similar in style to that. Looking at movies as well, it's similar to Baby Boom, which is a movie that I absolutely adore with Diane Keaton, and Life as You Know It is another kind of example of a story that is similar to this. What is the scene or thing you are most excited for readers to read? Okay, I don't want to... How do I answer this without giving too many spoilers is what I'm thinking. go with when Sophie and Samson first meet, because I think not only is it like a big moment, because obviously this is a romance and this is when the couple first meet, but also it's like Sophie's already just been through such a lot, and then she's kind of hit with this thunderbolt of feelings and new things being chucked at her again, and it's really, really great. I do like that scene. What is one thing readers may have missed or not picked up on when reading your book? That's a tricky question. What is one thing that they might not have picked up on? Possibly the amount of things that I had to look up to make sure that I had researched enough about what actually happens in a situation like this. Thankfully, I have never been in a situation where I have been dealing with the aftermath of a tragedy, basically. So I thought that I knew the procedure, but I wasn't sure. So there was an awful lot of stuff that went on in the background with me, looking things up, but also speaking to friends who worked in social services, who work for the police and things like that, to make sure that the story was as realistic as possible. Question number 9 is how much, if any, research went into your book? So like I say, I did lots of research into what would happen in the aftermath of how Sophie's sister dies. I don't want to give away too many spoilers. But although, did it say it in the back? No, it doesn't. There we go. I was just checking that I hadn't already told you that one. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that I had that completely right. And also, and even more than that, was the actual logistics of this woman who is a blood relative to the baby, and has the baby and is prepared to look after her, but there isn't a will or anything to give her guardianship. And then you've got this guy who comes along saying that he's the baby's father, but he's not named on the birth certificate. And Sophie's never heard of him before, met him before, anything like that. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that the legal process was absolutely correct for these various things. And that was quite tricky because it's quite a complex situation. And so I did need to speak to quite a few people and do quite a bit of delving around to make sure that I got that right. Question number 10. Was your story set or inspired by a place you love or like have visited? It's set in Brighton, which is a lovely, lovely place. I love the seaside, and it's just an absolutely gorgeous town. Lots of lovely kind of shops and little alleyways, and it's a very cool place to live, as well as it obviously having the sea there and the beach and everything like that, which I thought would be absolutely brilliant for Samson. So it just seemed the perfect setting for him, to be honest, because he's a bit of a surfer dude. So obviously I needed to have him near the sea. I definitely wanted Sophie to live in London, and Brighton isn't too far from there, so it wouldn't take her too long to kind of go back and forth and things. So there was that to think about as well, and Brighton just seemed absolutely perfect. Right, next question. What's in your book comes from writing what you know. Setting, definitely. As I said, I'm UK based, and my stories are generally based in the UK, and like I say, Brighton is awesome. Also anything to do with looking after the baby. I have 4 children, so I've looked after babies before. I kind of know how they work. Sophie is an accountant and Samson is an architect. Neither of these are careers that I know a huge amount about. It was really fun researching those careers. Next question is the final question, and it is, what did you learn from other authors that you were able to incorporate into your own book? yeah, my goodness, that is a good question. I learn a huge amount from other authors, whether it's from reading articles that they've written or books about writing, or YouTube videos which have been produced by other writers, kind of directly learning from them and the methods that they use. But also, obviously, I read an awful lot, and I'm taking in information about writing and stories and things like through osmosis from all the reading that I do, particularly in this genre. So it definitely influences my writing, and it will any writer. You'll pick up, how to convey things, how storylines work, how they kind of ebb and flow, and also how to portray certain things, because when you're writing a character, you want them to feel complete to the reader, but there definitely is a skill to that which needs to be learned, because a character that you read that feels complete is obviously not a complete person. You need to give them enough so that they feel complete, and not so much that they're actually like all of us, that are a bit like Meredith Brooks said, a little bit of everything all at once. There's too much in us. You wouldn't be able to contain it into a character that you write in a story. So it's learning how to take specific things that you can put into your character to make them seem whole to the reader. And that's definitely something that I have learned from other writers, and that I continue to learn how to do. So that is the end of all the questions. I need to tag people. I have a list. This is how organized I am today. So I would like to tag me. I really, really love her YouTube channel, and I want to hear more about her book. So definitely good. Also, my friend Fiona Howells, the wonderful Margaret Pennard. Where have you been if you don't follow Margaret? Rachel D. Adams as well. She is completely awesome. And finally, the lovely J.D. Estrada. He is completely awesome. Make sure that you check out his shorts where he's doing taste tests and things. They're hilarious, but he also has an awful lot of books out there. So I really want to hear about whichever one he would like to tell us about. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this video today. If you've enjoyed it, please boop that like button and subscribe if you're not already. There is going to be a playlist of this tag for anybody who does it. So if you do it, make sure that you send me the link to your video so that I can add it to that playlist. And if you want to watch more of these tag videos, the playlist is linked down in the description below, and I will catch you in the next one.